Hello everybody, welcome to speakvotomi. Thank you so much for joining me. If it is your first time here, you are absolutely welcome. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you are back once again, you know how it goes. We are talking life. So today I asked an amazing lady to come and join us for YouTube Takeover Part 2. And she's just going to share some insights about what a certain heartbreak in her life taught her. And this is definitely for everybody because we all go through something that shatters our hearts, breaks it in any way or other form. And so I just want you to sit back, relax, just take some notes, and maybe reflect on your own life and what your heartbreak has taught you. You know, this is definitely a time for us to, compare notes and see what it is that some other people have learned through what they have gone through. And if you haven't gone through something or a certain heartbreak, I don't mean to curse you, but life does happen. Yeah, without further ado, speakvotomi, let's go.
Hello everybody. So 7 years ago, I had the unfortunate experience of going through a divorce. And Nkateko asked me to share 5 things that divorce has taught me. You know, when you are young, you make all these grand plans, right? And very soon you realize that life happens. Our loved ones die. Maybe the person that passes away is the person that was supposed to help you through school, and now you are stuck, you're not able to go to school anymore. Maybe you don't get accepted into the course that you wanted. Maybe you don't get accepted into the tertiary institution that you wanted to go to. Maybe you don't meet a boy. Or maybe you meet a boy, and then after a while he decides that you are kind of not the person that he's looking for. Maybe you never get married. Maybe you get married, but you never have children. I mean, there are so many curveballs in life. And tragedy teaches you that. It teaches you that life is not just one simple road. There are going to be bumps in the road, ups and downs. And if anything else, divorce has taught me that life happens. Things don't always happen the way I want them to. And there are so many things that happen in life that are outside of my control. And I can't always control what happens to me, but I can control how I react in some of the situations. The second thing divorce has taught me is that I'm not perfect. It actually hasn't taught me, it reminded me. Because I think, which is one of the things that made salvation a little bit hard for me, was I was always a goody two shoes. I thought I'm perfect. I know what I want and I know how I want it, and I'm always a teacher's pet. I'm always that girl who plays by the book. But so divorce, or when I went through a divorce, it was almost like a smack. I think for a very long time I thought I was perfect. I mean, I don't know why I would have that idea, because really, who is perfect? It has really taught me that I'm not perfect. So when I went through a divorce and having had to look in the mirror, look at my weaknesses in the mirror, look at myself and say, hey girl, you are responsible for some of this mess. Really being honest with myself about my brokenness. It helped me to say, okay, we are all broken. We are all broken. None of us are perfect. Sometimes we expect too much from others. Sometimes we expect a lot from people, more than they're able to give. So it taught me that I'm not perfect, that he wasn't perfect, that none of us are perfect. All of us are broken, and that although I'm not perfect, I'm still worthy in my imperfection. That although I'm not perfect, I'm still worthy of respect, I'm still worthy of love, I'm still worthy of consideration. The third thing that going through a divorce has taught me, although I feel I've always been that kind of a person, but I think it was amped up, was empathy. I think before I went through a divorce, I had a lot to say to people who went through a divorce. Didn't you pray? What did God say to you? Were you not praying? Did you fast? I mean, I had a lot to say until I went through it myself. And so going through that experience has taught me to walk with people in their shoes and to look at people going through very hard seasons and not have the arrogance to say, me, never. It just helps me, or it helped me to be more empathetic, to empathize more with people's weaknesses and say, what you did there was a mess, but how can I help you out? How can I help you through this process? Because we are all a work in progress. For me, it might be a divorce. For you, it might be something else. So just to walk with people in their winter moments, because all of us are going to get our chance at winter. Your experience of winter might be different from mine, but all of us will go through winter. The fourth thing that divorce taught me was how to forgive. I didn't think my heart was that big. I didn't think I was capable of forgiving until I went through a divorce. Forgiving my ex-husband, forgiving people who said the most horrible things about me, some of whom don't know that I know the things that they've said or the things that they've done, which doesn't matter. For me to look at my ex-husband and say, you did what you knew to do. It was Maya Angelou that said, when you know better, you do better. And I really believe that he did the best that he could with what he knew at the time. And so I had to learn to really forgive him and then learn to forgive other people. But over all of that, I had to learn how to forgive myself. Now that was hard, and I had to forgive myself for not listening to the Holy Spirit, not listening to my intuition, not listening to counsel of other people around me when they were saying, hang on, we have a few concerns about this relationship. And also I would say to myself, Boitumelo, how could you have missed God with such an important and a permanent decision? Sometimes we hear God and we listen to counsel, but we decide to do our own thing. And having to interrogate the places in my life that I felt the need to continue with a decision that I knew not to have been good, and reckoning with that and forgiving myself for making those mistakes. That was hard. Forgiving myself was the hardest. The fifth thing that I learned is to be content in every season. Married people, a lot of married people want to be single, and a lot of single people want to be married. And I found so much value in honoring each season that I am in. If it's a season of singleness, I ask God to help me find my fruitfulness in that season. If it is a season for me to be part of somebody else's life, may God give me the wisdom and the humility to steward that well, to steward every season well. We read in Ephesians 4, verse 12 and 13, I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, and so can you.